Well, good morning. It's September 19th, and look who's back flying online. Father Time, also known as Jeff Richard, now retired 777 captain for American Airlines for over 36 years, 7 years in the Air Force before that, in the Air Force Academy. That's my background. I retired a couple of weeks ago on September 6th. I've been out for a couple of months, injured my hand. Not even sure how, but I did. And I was very busy with retiring, going to visit my parents to try to, be a better son during retirement. And all my kids came back as a retirement video on my online. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, down in the lower corner, there's a little face, me flying an airplane in the left seat. And if you click on that and subscribe, we're at 902 subscribers as of today. We have a great little community going on our way to 1,000 on Discord. That's all in the links below. I'll link Discord. A guy named Benchy is my moderator and the guy who really has kind of held my hand through the whole thing. He's lives in Denmark and brilliant guy and helps me out a lot. A lot of guys have, like AJ and all you guys know who you are, helping me with different things. But I'm back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I started simming in March, and I'm just now getting back into Microsoft Flight Simulator because I went over to P3D to fly the 777, which is a study level aircraft, because doing this was kind of messing me up at work. Is it profile? Is it VNAV? Is it flight level change? Is it speed? Too many buttons for an old guy. So I went back to what I was flying and actually helped me flying at work. It was kind of cool preparing for recurrent. But here we are, maiden voyage as I return to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Many thanks to Benchy for getting me this far. I'm a long way from being there, but all suggestions, as you know, or if you've been in my community, are welcomed. So we've got the full Navigraph subscription going on here, right? We're got OBS going for online stuff, and gonna fly the 777, the 787 800. I think it's Hootie. Supplements the 787-10 on Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's a pretty good airplane. I'm still getting used to the 787. I never flew it. I flew 727, 737, 75, 76, 777, MD-11, MD-80, and A310, which is we had A300-600. In the Air Force, I was T-37s and 707s, which is KC-135. So a lot of Boeing in my past, and none of the modern Airbuses. Big hole in my resume. But I'm getting ready for Microsoft Flight Simulator across the pond, going, I believe it's eastbound, out of like Kennedy to Heathrow, places like that, being run by the VATSIM network, if you want to go over there and check it out. But I needed a long-range airplane, and so the 787-8 is what I'm going to use. But TFDI has announced that on October 15th, they're going to start possible release of the MD-11. I'll be ready to go on that. I have a couple thousand hours in that. Way back when, long time. But here we are, crappy weather, going Boston to Logan. We filed a flight plan. Here it is, PDF. It's basically just going to Merritt over Roebuck arrival. Very short flight on in, and over Providence, Rhode Island, where I was born. And here it is, the weather in JFK, 290 at 10. I don't think we're going to be on runway 4. That looks more like 22 to me. 2990 is the altimeter. And Boston looks like they're landing west too. So don't know where this flight sim brief went, but I think we need to count on going to 22 in Boston and in New York. So let's go here. Change this runway 22 left. That's it. It doesn't change much. So the route we'll have to upload manually. And the flight conditions, we've got a storm selected. I actually sat down to do this yesterday, and the sim locked up on me. And it was actual real live weather. It was terrible in New York and in Boston. And it was just too choppy a presentation, so I decided not to do it. We'll brighten it up a little bit there. All right, so anyway, that's my long introduction as I return to Microsoft Flight Simulator from the P3D platform. I am not great at the Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm getting better. Got my views kind of ironed out, my cockpit instrument views. Got my GSX, which I'm definitely looking like a GSX Pro. Definitely learning the ropes on that. there is a fault where it locks up at the gate during the fueling process. So hopefully it doesn't even touch our fuel. Benchy helped me a lot with that. Change the settings to GSX. Hopefully that avoids some of the lockups on that. It's been taxiing okay. Once in a while I got to use top brake a lot of times. Anyway, here we are. Let's see what we got. That's an interesting picture. Very interesting. Oh, it's foggy at New York. You can see that. And rainy. Oh, yeah. That's because they put the thunderstorm weather in, right? Pretty. 787-8 by Hootie, Sublady Sobo, 787-10. That's pretty. I'm going to miss this airline. Miss the people mostly. Cold, dark airplane. Sorry, guys. Got to do it. And get it started here. So, nasty, huh? Let's go to the overhead. Looks like they get external power here. Batteries on. You know, that was like a cockpit test because I just basically reached up there and tried to get it going. Let's start the APU. We do the fire test, and let's say that's done. And start the APU. So when we come in the cockpit, before we ever would have done that, right? For those of you who haven't flown me before, I fly with a young man named Bob. Bob's very quiet, not much help. I've pretty much got to carry him, but he's a good guy. In the real airplane, the fourth pilot would sit here, either called the FC as in Charlie, this would be the FB, F Bravo, or the relief captain on the super long flights like Cadelli would sit there. That's the FB, F Bravo. We check the circuit breakers. We check the crash axe, which is way back here. We check the halon, which is up here, back here. The walk around bottle, make sure it's in the blue. Back of the seat packets, we check for the life preservers. We check the ropes stowed on both sides. This is while we're waiting for the APU to gin up. Then we come right up the middle. On the middle, we check the fuel levers down, throttles closed, thrust levers, reverse levers down. We've got the speed brake lever down. Gear handle, of course, is down. Not a given. Not a given. Then we go to the overhead. And we check the windshield wipers. Believe it or not, windshield wipers are off. Just so we don't scrape the windshield. Then we go up and we check the hydraulic panel. Make sure everything is off so we don't power up. We wouldn't have been hurting anyone out there. Okay, we got external powers established. Got the turn the two RRUs on. Go back to the box. So the miracle of Microsoft Views. And 787-800 GE next generation, their X engines, one Bravo, 64,000 pounds of thrust. That's amazing to me. This is about the same size as 777-200. 787 was supposed to be a joint type rating if you didn't know it, but the FAA said, nah, I don't think so. Too many differences. Got the HUD, heads-up display. You've got a different box. Just too much, guys. Get a separate type rating. That's what they did. But the 777-200 needs about, I think the G60-80s, they run them at about 74,000 pounds of thrust. So that shows you how much fuel this thing saves, how efficient the airframe is. The 777-300, which is getting up around the size of the 787-10, has 110,000 pounds of thrust. We run them at 90-something pounds of thrust. But anyway, the database is good. I have a full nav data Navigraph package. Keep that database updated. It's a big deal. And that's the ident, init. And I always put in the reference guides. If there's a gray box in Microsoft Flight Simulator or aircraft, I just fill them in. We don't actually do that on the line anymore. You can see the coordinates all make sense. We don't have the boxes yet to update that. We'll see what happens. We'll go to route, KJFK to Boston. I'm going to say we're going to go off 22 right with those winds. And we're American Airlines flight 123. There it is. Execute. And there's no route request. There's no automatic feature. My guy Benchy tells me that's coming. So now departure arrival. I'm going to go just merit here. Merit. And then I'm going to do arrival into Boston out of Merit. By the way, it's a JFK-5, runway 22 right, and then we go back, departure arrival, Boston, Roebuck, Merit transition, and ILS 22 left is what they like to do there. That looks good. Execute it. Now in the real aircraft, we get the winds going here. We go legs, route data, and wind request. It'll come up automatically, but in today's case, we're not going to do that. The JFK-5, which we're filed on, is runway heading and runway heading and 224 heading. Let's put that in. I do have Logitech panels. Show you. Heading 224, which helps me out a little, especially when we're VATSIMing. I'm not VATSIMing today because, quite honestly, I'm not ready. I've got to get used to this 787 where the radio panels are, where everything goes. It's not going to be easy. Flight plan brief. Here we go. I told you the Merit Roebuck 3. This says 4 right. I don't think so. It's 4 left. So let's say the fuel is supposed to be about 22.9, cost index 21, distance 178. I'm going to write those down so I don't have to come back. 178, 21, and fuel is 22.9, and let me see here, guys. Zero fuel weight is 332.4. All right, let's put that in the box. And then zero fuel weight. What am I? 332.4. Yeah, so thanks for all your Discord chat and keeping an eye on me. Providence is our alternate, and it's 8,000 pounds to get over there. 777, that'd be like 11. Cruise level 230. Oddballs, fly east, that's what we're filed for. Cost index, I said, was 21. 21. Cruise CG, that's fine. The takeoff CG is going to be down around 8. So thrust limits, it's a lousy day. Let's go TO. Wow, what's the temperature outside? It is 15 Celsius. See where I got that? Right up here. So if you haven't watched my videos, I do mostly instructional videos because I am the old skipper, or was the old skipper. Climb power, takeoff. In this case, I will go flaps 5. The electronic flight bag does not work on this thing. It's off to the side here. Took me a little while to figure out that it actually doesn't work. Electronic flight bag, 22 right, and we got QRF speeds on here, 147, 135, 131. And we check that, of course, against our TPS, 147. Now, one thing that I could use a little help with, guys, and a lot of help, is I'm going to set and these switches should be on, the auto throttles, flight directors. There's 5 of them, actually. 2 flight directors, the auto throttles, and the OPAL gates. I guess technically that's 6. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, 5. These 2. Those 5 are on. The runway heading, 5,000. We got that in the 1,000-foot range instead of auto. And looks good. Down here, I'm going to set the engine out acceleration altitude. Right? And it is not easy to do. Right down here. It's supposed to be 810. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I noticed that if you try to do it all at once, it starts jumping like crazy. I'm not going to even demonstrate. I'm just going to do it 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, you know what? That's the best I've done. But the problem is when you're flying, set your minimums on the approach. Geez, it's a lot. All right, so that looks good. Okay, let me get this set. There we go. All right, let's go outside. That's the initialization of the FMS. Okay, we'll go back in here and make sure that's right. The other guy's doing the walk around because it's raining. We would actually have a wet TPS, in which case the V1 is less than VR, which you really got to be careful of. It'd be like maybe 123. Is you guys are used to hearing V1, rotate, and sometimes it's V1, 5-second count, rotate, because the V1 drops a lot during wet runway operations. I don't think you can actually get wet runway. I think you actually can on this one, but we're not going to do it. But takeoff, we got to remember to set next page too. Yeah, see, it does say dry, so you could go 00/wet to get it. I want to try that. I'm going to put /wet. I probably am wasting our time, guys. Wet. That's not going to let me do it. Maybe I'll go 00, up 00, wet. This is probably wasting your time. Let's go up 0.0/wet. And we'll see if that, so up 0.0/wet. No, it's not going to let you do it. In the real airplane, you can actually do that, and it'll come up with wet data for you. And of course, here at NADP2, we're going to go engine out is 800 feet. In the US, most airlines use 800, not 1500. That way VNAV works, 800. Excel height's 1500. Thrust reduction is usually 1,000. And Excel height is usually 1,000 as well. All right, so always check page 2. So how are we doing? Let's go back. It's real important to get this set. IDEN 787, we get the right engines. Database is good. Position in it. It's GPS knows the Kennedy. It's all aligning the route. We check that with each other. Walk through using the flight plan all the way through. And then we go to legs, go to plan on the mode up here. Right here. It's not going to let me do it though, is it? Yeah, this one doesn't let me go. Switch doesn't work. You usually go to plan to do that. So that's one switch that's not working. Not many of them, though. It's generally a real good airplane. Then you go to init, thrust limits, data is set, and you update the winds on legs, route data, wind request, and that doesn't work on this one yet. So, yeah, I'm going to take this thing to Europe on the across the pond, CROSS on the VATSIM network. I think it's the end of October. Try to sign up and get a slot for that. Everyone can go, but they don't guarantee you slots if you're not one of the guys. So if you didn't get accepted, so I'm going to try to get accepted. And I'm probably going to use the MD-11 off TFDI, in fact, if it comes out. Otherwise, I'll be using the 7.8, so that's why I'm getting familiar with it here. All right, that's what's going on. Let's go to the overhead, and we got to get this airplane loaded. There we are. That reminds me, guys, let me do something here. Let me get the lights all up. If you take a look at the overhead, there's a master switch. See that? If you just put that up, it turns up all the lights. Now, the only way it works is if the meter is in the slot. If you have it out of that slot, that one's not controlled by the master. As long as it's on the tick mark there, it's controlled by the master. The master. Same thing goes for down here on the throttle quadrant, radio panel. The aisle stand pan floodlight, we'll put that up. That one doesn't have a tick, so it's not controlled. Floods, bright, dim, transponder. Let's say we got our clearance. I'm going to go in here and transponder, and we're going to say it's 3524. Right there. And normal is above, it looks higher, like 8,500 feet, 2,500 below. If you leave it on normal, it's like 2,500 each. And then below, if you put it below, 8,500 below, 2,500. I just leave it in normal generally. Some airlines on descent, they have you go below. On climb, they have you go above. And I'll put that on TARA since we already have our clearance. None of these other buttons work except for, transponder works, and of course VHF works. I'm going to leave it on transponder. Up here, I'm going to go VHF, and I'm going to use my handy dandies here to speed things up a bit. So Kennedy ground is 21.9. So I put in 21.9. And like that. Well, maybe it's not going to let me do that. 121.9. Switch it around. And then 19.1 goes over here. These are some of the things I'd be doing. Center is reserved for data for the ACARs. You'd see data over here. If you don't, you're not going to get any ACARs. And at Kennedy, the ramp is 129.9. US airports, the major airports, they have ramp control owned and operated by the airlines. I'll put in guard on the other side since we're monitoring guard for the flight. All right, so we have 21.9 for ground, 19.1 for tower. We'll push back ramp, 29.9. Don't know what I did wrong there. I see what I did, guys. 21. I got to select this, right? And transfer. And there's 29.9. Okay, there we go. Got to learn. 21.9, 19.1, and the captain usually will be on flight. These panels don't work either. Even the number 2, well, that does work. But if you want to select and monitor these over here, you can't do it. You can normally toggle this up so you can monitor the other freak. But in this airplane, you'd have to actually go over there on the 787 to monitor like ATIS for VATSIM. Not ideal. That's why I'd rather fly the TFDI MD-11 when it comes out. I have high hopes for that. All right, so remember I think that's about all I'd prep, and then I'd start doing the interior and upper overhead would be better. Flight controls are in normal. IRSs are left, and they are actually aligned. Headings reference is normal. This doesn't work, but it can go true if you're going up over the North Pole. There's a possibility of that. Primary flight computers are in auto, no light. Electrical power, we got battery on. Cabin utilities, APU generator. APU generator is on, so it kicked off the external power. We should do the packs. And while we're there, they turn off the upper recycling fan on the 7.8. Don't know why. So they can pull external whenever they want when they call. All these lights are on off. Drive lights, low oil pressure, high oil temperature. You get a drive light in flight. Once you disconnect, you're stuck. Okay, so this is towing power is good. Batteries on. Flight deck door power, we'll put that on. Cockpit CCR is on. Emergency lights are armed. Service interphone's on. Passenger oxygen switch is covered. We'll put the window heat all on. Hydraulic pumps are all off with all fault lights. Let me go to the lower overhead here. Lights, the only one on right now is the nav. Let me see something here. Yeah, I've been having trouble with the strobe lights getting stuck on. They were pre-done to some other setting. Just they were hooked up, I think, to my other throttles, my Honeycomb Bravo throttles. By the way, I'm flying with a Boeing yoke, Honeycomb Bravo throttles. My whole system is listed in the description. I've got some Logitech panels. I got a 49-inch screen that I have on compacted mode, so I can run my OBS Studio over there, my Navigraph over there. I'll drag up things as we need to see them. That's my plan. If you got a better way, I know there's something where a program where you can actually input another screen and have your checklist up there. That's pretty cool. I'm going to use the checklist that's in the aircraft. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, back up to the upper overhead. We got the battery. We talked about all those. Those are good. Ground tests. Nope, we're not going to do a cockpit voice recorder. We're not going to test that. I don't think it even works. Doesn't. Cargo fire. We're not going to test that. Doesn't work. Engine, EEC mode, normal. Fuel jettison panel, same as the 777. This pump is on over here. You got pressure lights. It's on because the APU starter. When it starts it's a little, this pump, an APU fuel pump to get going. Engine ice, I don't know why it's not on auto. You don't do anything with the engine ice on the 7.8 and the 777, except turn on the engine ice after start on the ground. Once you're airborne, you go to auto, everything is automatic, including the wing anti-ice. It has a little sensor out there. All the rest of the lights, we talked about that ad nauseum. Up in the upper right, ELT is reset. Bulk cargo is all on. Got this recirc fans. Remember to turn on the upper because it goes off. Equipment cooling aft. That would be smoke elimination. They would be, you could manually do it, but it's all automatic. Trim air is all on. Everything's on here. Bottom right is wipers, stow. We talked about that. Pressurization's all in auto. Landing altitude, you don't have to do anything with that. It's automatic. HUD. I'm going to put the HUD on bright when we use it. Okay, so that's that. Then we come across here. We talked about a lot of this already. We can go LNAV, VNAV, arm it. We've got an engine out acceleration of 810 set. We're in inches up here. We've got 147, LNAV, VNAV, all the paddles are up. 224 is running heading 5,000, and all the lights are good. His panel looks good. Then we start in the bottom left. Whoa, it was a ride. We got the oxygen, we check that, we press it, then press and hold the mic switch, using this mic up here usually, up there, so that we can hear the mic. We would have our interphone toggled up, and you can actually hear the mic over here, flight interphone, but it doesn't work. Toggled up so you can hear the air flowing through it, and you would also go and check the status. Now, one of the things I'm having a little trouble with is finding some of the systems and everything. It's kind of cool. Over here, it's got this displayed. Stats a big page. As you can see, that's quantity. You don't want to RF, that means refill, on there. Or overfill, OF, there's nothing. So you got quantities all full, which is nice. Pressure's all good, which is fine. This is the APU meter. You can we can monitor the APU start. Looks good. Oxygen 1850. Depends on how long you are, but I think we need just like 1,100 domestic. It gets up around 1,700 for international. Quantity, cooled quantities. Oil looks good. Nothing on the electric is all good. I'll just show you these. The 23.7 I released was 23. That's good. It's all in the wings and the cross feed's closed. That's a big deal because fuel guys will sometimes move a cross feed. Cross feed's closed, and you can't put any fuel in the center without filling up the wings first, unless dispatch is load control is notified. Air, it looks good. That's just the pink is what's selected. And the white is what's actual. Doors, manual, gear, and you look at the tire pressures. 170 is the min up here, and I think it's 200 on the mains. Flight controls all look good. You see the stab trim. You get that off the takeoff page, but it's got to be in the green band. So I'm going to move it really far forward, guys, right in the middle of the green band. So there's things on here. Maintenance works. That's cool, but it doesn't work on this one. Okay. I'll turn the auto brakes to RTO. A lot of buttons don't work. It's going to be kind of difficult, I think, my opinion, to fly this thing on a VATSIM because it's got some buttons that don't work, but that's okay. So here we go. So if you want to display what's here or what's here, right, you can go System. You can hit that page, CDU. I don't know why you'd want that. Info, any kind of problems that you had. Checklist, you wouldn't do that. That'd be down the bottom one. Com, nope, doesn't work on this one. But nav display is what you typically have here on both sides. Nav display and nav display. Down in the bottom here, you usually run the checklist. But you can put other things down here, nav display, info, CDU. So you either run whoever's running the checklist runs it. So if I'm flying, usually I'll have the FMC over here, which CDU, and the FO will have the checklist over here. I'm talking as if I flew this. All right, so we we did the overhead, we did the initialization, we came across. If you take a look at the messages here, we're going to come right down the middle. Hydraulic pressure, that's good. Engine shutdown, pump, fuel pressure, that's all normal. Auto brake, RPO, AP running. There's no unwanted messages. Sometimes you'll have the window heat that's off, or if you forgot to turn on that recirc fan, that'll be there. Gear handles down, alternate gear is selected. You've got the throttle quadrants, reversers down, throttles idle, fuel switches are down, fuel cutoff switches down, stab trim cutout switches, cutout. If you have runaway trim, like the 7.3 Max, cut those off. This is alternate flap switches, auto. It's in normal. It's in, and parking brake is set. I have a little switch that controls that. Then you go down to the radio panel. Fuel handles were in. There's no fire test. I set the transponder. It's set, showed here. Frequencies are set. A lot of these buttons don't work. Flight deck access door is in auto. Aisle panel flood is all up. The lighting's up. And that is it. That is the cockpit pre-flight. So I think what I want to do now is get my view set for taxi here. Good. Good. So, Benchy told me I needed to get a controller hooked up if I wanted to use the outside view. So I'm going to go up here, camera, and I'm going to position this offside so you don't have to watch this. I'll just do up here, and do over here. I'm going to go showcase, free camera, drone. Ready? And away we go. Still getting used to it. John F. Kennedy International Airport is based here for 36 years. I turned 65 in September, and there she is. Near and dear to my heart, that's American Airlines terminal here. This is gorgeous inside. I don't know what, I try to fly around in there. You can't see anything. Matter of fact, the gates don't work. We can watch the boarding. As a matter of fact, let's do this, guys. Let's go GSX, request boarding, and American Airlines handler, and we'll do it. Let's take a look around. There it is, right? How's that? Looks like they're loading some cargo in the forward. I'm not going to do any fueling, guys, because it ties you up, and Microsoft Flight Simulator already did the fuel for me. Yes. Do I want to board crew? Nobody crew, pilots, both. Both. Yeah, we were stuck in the terminal. Maybe I can see us coming on. I am such a nerd. I'm awful old to be this nerdy. Yeah. Oh, these guys are fast. You guys get out here fast. Hey, my name's Jeff Richard. Here's my my credentials. I don't have any anymore. Yeah, old man. Back of the airplane. Nah, I'm going to fly this one, kids. I have simulator permission, so one of you needs to get out of your seat. Preferably you on the left. All right, so flight attendants are here. Here come the pilots. Look at him. Wonder if we can find the others coming through. Flight attendants. Hey, welcome aboard. I'm Jeff. Hi, I'm Jeff. Welcome aboard. Hi. Nothing. Story of my life, guys. Story of my life. You know? All right, girls. Can we say girls anymore? There's my guys. Get out of my seat. All right, so you get the idea, right? All right. That was fun. Was it not? Let's do views. And go back to cockpit. You guys probably wanted to see the passengers, didn't you? All right, showcase free camera. I'm just showing you how I do this. I know you can do it off screen. It'd be a lot better presentation. Hello, I'm the captain. Get off my airplane. There they are. There they go. They're coming on. I changed the density on GSX to get a faster boarding. How do you like that? I mean, if you want to take a look in the back, this airplane's not mapped, so they're walking off into oblivion. Watch your step, please. Watch your step, folks. Yeah, looks good. I mean, come on. I love this stuff. God, I'm so nerdy, I know. Anyway, all right. Enough of that. Let's go back in. Nice. Okay. So let's talk about what we're going to do here. We're at Boston. We're in New York. 233 of 235 passengers aboard. Baggage progress is 33%. I like GSX. Hopefully it doesn't lock up on me. We've got the Navigraph here. We're going JFK to Boston. Let's take a look. We are right at the end of the terminal. So I'll show you where we're going to go. We're going to go taxi, taxi. You make sure that this is on, which shows where you are. And there it is. See it right there? Flight plan. I'm not going to bother updating the flight plan from SimBrief or from the aircraft. SimBrief. There we are, gate 47. We're going off 22 left, 22 right. So it's going to be what they typically give you. Push back, I'll go nose to the right, tail left. If they do that properly, I'll go Tango Alpha, right on Alpha. They usually give you hold short of Victor right here, or A1. Then they'll clear you across 31 left at Victor. 31 right at Victor. Right on Charlie, left on Echo for 22 right. Okay, so right on Tango Alpha, right on Alpha, hold short of Victor. Then they'll clear you Victor cross 31 right, right on Charlie, left on Echo, and hold short of 22 right. And it's runway heading to 5,000 feet. Departure will be on 35.9, and we'll check Boston when we get going. All right. How do you like that? Pretty cool, huh? So there we go. Get that out of the way. And they're boarding. Let's run the checklist, Bob. I'll get it. Jeepers crow. All right, checklist. Usually the guy not flying does this, but Bob's. Parking brake is set. Fuel control switches are cut off. Normal. Passenger signs. 15 minutes. I'll wait on that. MCP. All right, Bob. It's going to be, let's do a takeoff brief now while we're doing that. Going to be a nice trip. You know me. Just speak up. Got anything for me? Just let me know. We'll plan on taxiing out to 22 right. We talked about the taxi threats and how to get out there ad nauseum with our crew. And we just need to discuss some of the contingency plans. So in the event of engine failure, 810's our engine out. 3,000 is a good min sector altitude to come back into either runway. There's no need to dump fuel. We're good to land on both runways, wet runway and all at this weight. So anything prior to 80 knots, we'll execute the abort. Between 80 and V1, we're in the hot brakes territory. So we'll just abort for engine failure, fire, overheat, or compressor stall. So if we think the engine's failed or about to fail, will abort. But between 80 and V1, we're kind of in the go mode for minor subsystem failures like that you see pop up on the screen. So basically a red light, a bell, or a yaw will be aborting for, um, unless it's a compressor stall. Or predictive wind shear if we get wind shear ahead, or any kind of predictive wind shear, or if controllability issues, we're going to hit someone crosses in front of us. And on 2-2 right, that's always an issue because the people land 2-2 left, they clear at Hotel or Juliet, they're told to hold short, they could roll out. So we'll be in the abort mode for that too. But generally we're in go mode. If it's a wheel well fire, keep the gear down. We'll come back around to 3,000 feet and land no matter what. If it's an engine failure, we'll clean it up at 810 right there. 810 for the engine out. And we'll clean it up in VNAV, clean it up continuously. And once we get cleaned up, we'll make sure we have continuous power when the flaps are up. If we have continuous power, then we'll run the checklist. We both have a QRC checklist here. Let's not run the checklist until at least 400 feet if it's an engine fire or failure. Engine fire, red light, bell, if it's or cargo fire. Everything else we'll wait till we clean up. So at 400 feet, I'll get the autopilot on. If it's an engine failure, cargo failure, we'll run the QRC items off the card. Then we'll go to the box at 1,000 feet. For everything else, we'll wait till we're cleaned up and over 1,000 feet before we run the checklist. Any questions? No, and I can use any help you can give me on the seatbelt sign or seating the flight attendants. There's no rank structure for that. Most conservative guy rules. And the other thing will be going around. Don't be ambiguous. We only have the two of us here today. Just say go around. Don't say a word in a prayer. Be very, very forthright. Last thing is going around weather. There is weather, as you can see out there. I'll go far around weather to make the most conservative guy comfortable. Any questions? No, that's the takeoff brief. So let's go back to the box. MCP's check. Takeoff speeds, we checked that. CDU pre-flight, we did that. Trim, we set. Taxi takeoff brief, we did. Beacon, we don't get till pushback, so I'll turn that. I'll click that off. Passenger sign. We have 170 of 235 people that are boarded. I don't want to turn on the seatbelt sign until they're all on. Back outside. Yeah, there's quite a bit of weather out there. So you know what? Let's call back. I'm going to call back to the flight attendants. And I'm going to let them know to stay seated. Hi, this is Priscilla. Yeah, Priscilla, it's Jeff, the captain. It's a lot of rain showers. Yeah, I noticed. A lot of rain showers in the area, thunderstorms. So a nice raindrop out there, by the way, if you want to come up here and take a look at it. Everyone should remain seated for departure. I'm not sure about the weather going to Boston. I may have you remain seated the whole flight. It's just a short flight anyway. We only have 37 minutes. Block time's an hour, and our air time's only 33 minutes. So I'm probably just going to have you guys remain seated the whole flight, and I'll make a PA to that regard because of the weather in the area. So everyone stay seated. I don't think you're going to get a beverage service done. So maybe you want to do it ahead of time anyway with the first class. Yeah, I know how to do my job, sir. Sorry, Priscilla. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we'll be underway here shortly. That's kind of what you do when you get the weather in the area, guys. That'll make you sick, me doing that, right? Back inside. 200 people boarded out of 235. I'd like my PFD to be a little bit brighter. That's my PFD, right? My outboard display. My inboard display. Especially with the weather in there. These don't work in here. Heaters don't work. These don't work either. Oh, they work. Nope, they don't work. All right. 217, 218 out of 235. So the boarding's going well. All right, so let's go outside, say hello to the last of the passengers. showcase. Easy. These are the last of them. Big step there, kids. Oh, I think we boarded everyone. Yeah, we boarded everyone. Beautiful. Okay. Let's get out of this. Go back to the cockpit camera. There. And looks like GSS 6 were boarded. Let's take one last look outside before we do that. Yep. Let's give them permission to get out of here. I think it's going well. Deboarding, prepare for pushback and departure. Boarding complete. I don't need to refuel. Got the fuel. All right, let's run the checklist. And outside, they're probably going to pull the jet bridge back here in a second. Here we go. And tug will start moving over. Yeah, it's moving over. All right. All right, let's run the checklist. Bobby Boy. Don't call me Bobby Boy. Normal. Passenger signs are on. We got to go to the overhead for that. Passenger signs are on. Yeah, I'm kind of methodical, guys. If you fly with me, probably drive you a little crazy. I try to do everything by the book. It doesn't always work out. I have. All right, good. Before taxi. Anti-ice. Nope, that's before taxi. Okay. So let's go up here to GSX. Stop here, complete pushback, abort pushback. There we go. Looks like he's coming up to the airplane. Or she is. I'm sorry, guys. I said nose right, right? Nose right, tail, nose to the right, nose left, tail right. Tail, I want the tail go. Yeah, tail right for him. Pretty cool, huh? This comes up. I always got a kick out of this when they first came up with these big tugs. I don't know how much those things cost. They got to be $5 million. Just throwing it out there, but they have to be. But it's smooth. A lot easier on the nose gear, too. I got a button for that. Start at will. All right, we're moving. Let's go back inside. We'll go to the overhead. I'm going to start both engines. We got to do our before 1, 2, 3, 4, and this way clockwise going on. Beacon. This should have been something I did before we push back. But now we'll start. Oh, they just finally disconnected external power. Packs are off. So here they go. Big thing here, guys. We're looking for oil pressure to rise. And that's not going to happen until you bring the fuel levers up. Let that be a lesson to you. That's Bob. Bob, come on. You're making me look bad. The guys are here. I'm telling you guys. Bob's rough. All right, let's go back outside. Get way up here, see where we're going. Looks like they did it right. Back inside. Yeah, we got a good engine start. Good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect. Unlocking gear.
All right, let's go back to the engine displays. There's a little red tick that went away. 2 good starts, so I can go to the overhead. One of us has to go to the overhead and shut down the APU. And I'm going to tell them I don't have a salute yet, but you can go flaps 5. But don't hold off on the flight controls till they give me a salute.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
All right.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay, we flash the taxi light. He salutes us. We said, I have a salute. And that's what you do. And we're going to put the taxi light on for taxi. All right, Bob. I have a salute. You know what? They got us going out November Charlie, long way out. So we're going to go right on Alpha, hold short of Victor. Okay, Bob, I have a salute. Roger. Ramp American 123, push back off gate 47, request taxi. Roger, American 43, use November Charlie, contact ground 219. All right, November Charlie, ground 219, American 143. Guys, what did we forget? Anti-ice is not recalled because above 10, recall. To do that, all you do is you hit this little recall button right here. There's one on the other side too. You look for any messages that may have been wrong. A recall is complete. Auto brakes are RTO. Flight controls, ground equipment, APU shutting down. Flight controls, let's go outside. Those of you who have flown with me before know this isn't a given. There's the ailerons. Usually the captain checks the rudder. And there the elevator's working. Everything looks good. Let's get this camera into a better position here. Because if I get in an external, that will actually help me with taxiing. That'll be great. Okay, let's go out of that view. And I just need to do one thing, guys. I need to set this view up for my taxi. Like this. Okay? Now let's try it. Nice. All right, we're clear to taxi contact ground. So parking brakes are off. I know that because I pushed the button and it's over here. And clear left. And Bob says clear right. And by the way, this checklist is complete. Let's go down here real quick. Normal. And before takeoff, the flaps. Only reason you wouldn't have the flaps down is because there's the runway, the taxiways might be contaminated. You can see that that's after takeoff. So let's go back to CDU. I should be on takeoff, and Bob should be on the leg page. Okay, let's go. What could go wrong? Yeah, guys, so first time back with Microsoft Flight Simulator since, I want to say, May. I really was loving flying P-51s and P-38, Spitfires. I even did a Normandy video. Checked myself out, gave myself a check ride on the A310 by Any Builds. Did a lot of Captain Sims stuff, not so good. RHD, I did them. They were a little better, but it's a one. I'd recommend the RHD before Captain Sim. Just nothing else. The guy's sincerely trying to make that product better. But neither one is great. This is a little better. And I'm flying all those airplanes, plus the PMDG 737. Whoa. Guys, I don't know what happened there. It is a hard left rudder. Don't know what happened. That's not good. Let me go outside for a second, guys. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that was. Let's hope this works a little better, or that could be the end of the video. Come on, baby. I have my hostage stick um, as my nose wheel steering. The rudders work too, of course, but I have the pendular rudder pedals, and if they get even a little bit off-centered, the aircraft starts moving. So yeah, I've been having a little trouble with the taxiing. I'll admit that. Let's go to lower overhead. Yeah, lower overhead. How's that? And put on some intermediate windshield wipers, which do work. Kennedy Ground, American 123 Heavy, coming out of November Charlie, taxi with India. America 123 Heavy, Kennedy Ground, turn left on Bravo. Let's make that, so right on Alpha, hold short of Victor. Right on Alpha, hold short of Victor, and expect runway 22 right. American 123 Heavy, coming out of November Charlie, right on Alpha, short of Victor, we'll expect 22 right. In here, guys, okay, we clear left. The taxiway looks good. He clears right. We don't do them in the ramp area. Wait. We get our flaps down, flight controls, everything like that. But we do have a before takeoff checklist that's more extensive than what they have in this computer. It includes going over the takeoff data after the closeout comes in. We update the zero fuel weight, stab, trim, everything. And we brief weights, winds, and temperatures. Where'd the weights come in relative to plan? Where the winds, do we have a headwind? If not, can we take the tailwind? Let's try doing outside. Maybe we can taxi better outside. Yeah, that's good. Uh, Weights, winds, we got a headwind. Tailwind, we'd have to subtract off the TPS for every knot. And temperature, if we're doing a max power takeoff, and we're above the, in this case, 15 degrees Celsius, we need all new data. If it's an assumed, as long as we're below the assumed temperature, we're all set with the numbers that we have. Weights, winds, and temperatures are checked. Came in right on. We have 257 souls on board. Takeoff data and bugs, checked. Stab trim, we look on the takeoff page, see the stab trim set off, and we say set. I'm going to have to take a look at that. I wonder. Got a long way around. So our taxi clearance, we're on Alpha, short of Victor, which is up here. And they're going to cross us on Victor, right on Charlie Echo. So we're on Alpha, we'll hold short of Victor. Naturally, I've flown out of here for thousands of flights, so kind of know my way around Kennedy. Yes, I'm going to go on VATSIM. I think I have everything ready to go. I finally got VATSPY to download. I have VPilot, SimBrief downloader. I think I'm all set. Just got to get used to the radio panels on this thing and everything else. For instance, radio. We'll do it. And America 123 Heavy, you're cleared across runway 31 right at Victor, right on Charlie, left on Echo, hold short of 22 left. Roger, American 123 Heavy, cleared across 31 right on Victor, right on Charlie, left on Echo, hold short of 22 right. Oh, Roger. All right, this is Victor over here, guys. And we'll be cleared across up here and then go right. Attaboy. Why don't we blow out a tire before we take off? So we went through the takeoff data, went through the MCP. It was a MCP and radios. And we're checking up there is, well, I'll take a look at it. How's that? We're going to go runway heading, LNAV, because it knows runway heading on the JFK-5, VNAV, and we'll check to make sure the correct runway is in there. 22, you know? Yeah, 22 right. I wish they had an auto taxi where when you're going straight, it would just keep you on the center line, sort of like my cars. Two right. Looks good. That's important. All right, I'm on takeoff. Let's see. I got to go on takeoff. Init. Takeoff. Okay, I'm on takeoff. He's on legs. He or she's on legs, right? Right now, things to be talking about are the weather. We already told the flight attendants remain seated. I would go on. I would go on weather. He could go on terrain. You know, there's no terrain here. Both of us go on weather. I think the company wants one of us on terrain, but whenever the weather is bad like that, I don't know about that policy. Don't know about it, honestly. I think we should both be. The weather's the biggest hazard. I mean, the highest obstacle here is the World Trade Center. We're going the other way, so Freedom Tower. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm old time New York. And he'll send us over to Tower in here, which we'll do once I make this turn. Clear right? All right. Looks like a right cross. Taxiway signs are in the middle of the road. Radio. I'm going to monitor guard and tower. Woohoo! Always an adventure. Taxiing with Father Time. All right, let me get my views straightened out here before we do this, guys. We're on tower, holding short for landing traffic. Anytime you hold short, you turn off the taxi light. Good enough. Brakes are set. Now I want to go back inside. Good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Make sure my views are good. Looks like the rain has stopped, you know. Let's turn off the wipers. Flight attendants prepare for takeoff. I'm going to chime them. Checklist all complete. And we're on tower. And we should actually have 135.9 set up on the other side for departure. All right. Yeah, I can't. There are some missing parts, but overall, I like this airplane. Finals clear. American 123 Heavy, Kennedy Tower. Line up and wait. Line up and wait, American 123 Heavy. Okay, guys, when we clear the line up and wait, we turn on the wing and the turn off and the taxi. That's it. The rest go on when we go for takeoff. Parking brakes off. Finals clear. And let's taxi on out. You got to give the flight attendants prepare for takeoff no later than 2 minutes prior, and the chime is as you are rolling. I chimed them. I should have done the flight attendants prepare for takeoff a little while ago, but I chimed them just now. That's a HUD. Supposed to have that arm for takeoff. Line up and wait. Runway heading, checks. Let's go lower overhead. American 123 Heavy, Kennedy Tower. You're clear for takeoff. Contact departure on 35.9 after takeoff. Clear for takeoff, American 123 Heavy. Contact departure after takeoff. They don't usually do that, but I'm doing it. All right, let's go. Get 50% set. And when we do, engines are stabilized, toga. Thrust reft is there, toga up here. $80. It's gonna be a warning because my trim was out. Rotate. See that little circle? Positive rate gear up. Put the big circle in the little circle. The HUD is really sensitive. So the flight director down here, you're not getting as much. I'm going to go autopilot. Is on. Because I got to go down here and go to departure. 35.9. Kennedy departure, American 123 Heavy. You're out of 2,000 for 5,000 runway heading. American 123 Heavy, Kennedy departure. Roger, turn left heading direct merit. Left direct merit, American 123 Heavy. All right, guys, so come down here. You go legs, merit. In there, how does that look? He says, good. Execute. And now we come back up here and want to make sure we have LNAV. And the airplane is, you turn right, direct merit. Well, let's go right, direct merit, guys. Flaps coming up. Yeah, what I was trying to say here, a little late on the flaps, I'm sorry. Through the power of the FMC, it did it. You can even see with the autopilot on, it's sensitive. The bars are not that sensitive. So you do a combination, especially on final, of the HUD. It's very difficult on takeoff, in my opinion. 4 for 5. American 123 Heavy, Kennedy departure. Climb maintain 11000. 11000 American 123 Heavy. So let's go 11000. We confirm 11. He says, Roger, 11. I see 11000. And we want to definitely make sure the flight attendants stay seated here because there's a lot of weather out there. I'm going to go redo direct merit after that big turn. Execute. How's that look? Looks good. And let's go to checklist. Checklist. Landing gear's up. Flaps are up. Yep. All right. Checklist is complete. Get the next one ready. And it's for descent. So we're all good. Let's take a look outside. See how pretty it is out here. American 123 Heavy, you can climb and maintain flight level 230. Climb and maintain flight level 230, American 123 Heavy. And I do this, and I tell the other guy 23, and he points to it and says 230. That's our technique for making sure that we're doing the right thing. Let's go outside. Not much to look at, right? Let's go back inside. That's scary out there. And if you take a look at our, and the HUD, by the way, we can put the HUD back. Let's take a look at something here, guys. I definitely make sure these guys were still seated. MFD, American 123 Heavy, we'd like to deviate left of course for weather. Roger, American 123 Heavy, how far do you need to go, sir? We need about a 360 heading. Roger, turn left heading 360, American 123 Heavy. That's why you should always keep your heading bug slewed around, guys. Go, push that, go heading. It's heading. And yeah, that's a good reason to keep your heading bug slewed around. You know, American 123 heavy, we're going to have to try to thread the needle here, sir. So request 050 heading. Roger. You're cleared to deviate as necessary, sir. Yeah, I see the range. This is getting a little hairy here. Definitely make sure I'd make a PA tell the people to remain seated. Now, see, this has been happening. We're in VNAV, right? And it's climbing out. Let me go CDU, VNAV. I mean, what is that? Come on. That wasn't that before. 290. Execute. Next page, cruise, 290. It's a good turbulence penetration airspeed. 290. Descent. I'll go 0.74 slash 290 for the descent. I'll go 0.74 in the cruise. We're leveling at 23, guys. All right, so 0.74 cruise, 0.74 transitioning to 290 on the descent. Let's go back outside. Inside the weather, we're by the weather. American 123 heavy, sir. We can take a direct anywhere you need us to. Roger, American 123 heavy. You're clear direct, turn right, direct to, let's make it Roebuck. Right direct to Ruiz. All right, direct Ruiz, American 123 heavy. Now that's 23 to 21. Let's take a look. Ruiz is 63 miles. We're supposed to be at Ruiz between 23 and 21. And now I need to go LNAV. Anytime you do it, and there's LNAV, VNAV, going direct to Louise. Yeah, I don't like this lighting here. It's a little bit bright. That's better. And what do we forget, guys? Altimeters, right? Let's set 2992 standard. All right. We're going direct to Ruiz. Like this. And are we in path? Let's take a look. We're in path. 320 is 0.74. So let's descend at 322. It's because, you know, we're already at 320. VNAV 0.74 next. 322. I'll say 0.74 to 322. 0.74 to 322. I'll say 325. We'll go fast. That way it can accelerate a little bit. And there we go. Why did I pick that? I picked that because you can see that we're at 323.74. So, and by the way, we are in path. So as long as we change our altitude, should come down. In American 123 heavy, you're cleared. Expect ILS 22 left at Boston. Contact Boston 125.8. You're 125.8, and you cleared the Roebuck 3 arrival. Roebuck 3 arrival, 25.8 for Boston, American 123 heavy. 25.8. 25.8. Yeah, Boston American 123 is at flight level 230 on the Roebuck 3. Roger, American 123, Boston. You are clear to descend via the Roebuck 3. Expect the ILS 22 left. Clear to descend via the Roebuck 3 for American 123 heavy. Now, let me do this. Roebuck 3, I'm going to put in 3,000 here. And the reason I put that in might be 6,000. Legs. Next page. Yeah, it's 6,000. 5,000. Tail at 5,000. So it's 5,000 should be in the window. Because we're not clear for the approach, right? We're just clear for the descent. Now here's the problem I've been running in on this airplane. You got to watch it on this 787-800 by Hubie. So if I put in Boston, right? B-O-S. We are 110 miles away, 24,000 feet. So 24,000 feet, we need to be descending 3 times that is 72, plus, you don't even need plus 10, so 75 miles. So I like to keep it on here, and the reason is, if I don't see this airplane descent point, let's take a look again. Let's go up here, increase the range. Top of descent is in 30 miles. In 30 miles, we will be 72. So that's okay. I'll stay. It's all right. I'll stay on the star. I won't ask for any special altitudes. Our wing tanks are full. Let's do the checklist. Descent, recall. Recall, anything would come up here? Nothing. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain. We've leveled at 23,000 feet going into Boston. There are a lot of rain showers in the area, so I'm going to have the flight attendants remain seated, and you remain seated as well, just in case we encounter any bumpy air on the way in. Well, I'll be back on in just a moment with the Boston weather. That's an interesting little thing. It acted like it was going to descent there, but it didn't. Okay, that's comfortable for me. All right, where was I? Fix 90, 20. Yeah, that'll be okay. We'll let it fly that for a while. All right, let's go into Boston ATIS. Now, here's the problem. We don't have 2 radios, so Boston ATIS. My guy Benji been flying this a lot. So am I missing something, my man? Or is there no second radio? Approach, arrival. That's Kennedy. That won't come in very handy, will it? ILS 22 left. Boston approach 20.6. Let's put that in. We'll be ready for that. Invalid entry. One, 2.0.6. There it is. That's Boston approach. And now we go to ATIS, which is 135.0. Not crazy about this because if we're in VATSIM, we'd be leaving the frequency 135, or we could call up ATIS 135. Nothing. No. I just went on the wrong frequency there. Got to activate this first. Yeah, I'm still learning this airplane, guys. Still learning it. Let's see if the Boston ATIS comes up. I know it seems conservative seeing the flight attendants in a situation like this, but you really can't be too safe. You really can't. So let's go down to the radio panels again. and activate this one. See if we can hear it. See, we should be able to do both, right? But you can't. So you should be able to do that and then this. But you can't. We'll just go with B on the descent. All right, so let's look at the approach. We would cross-check all the descent points on the ground. Approach, ILS 22 left, 110.3 and 215. Make sure it's auto-tuned. 110.3 and 215. The DH is DA is 216. Here we go. We're on the descent. American 123 is out of flight level 230 on the Roebuck 3, descending to 5,000. American 123, Boston, Roger. Contact Boston approach 120.6. 120.6, American 123. Guys, I don't have the hiatus, so Boston approach, American 123 heavy. Oh, Boston approach, American 123 heavy is out of nope. 20.6. Oh my goodness. So you go like that, select it, and we got that ready. Boston approach, American 123 heavy, information Foxtrot, descending to 6,000 on the Roebuck, 5,000 Roebuck 3. American 123 heavy, Roger, proceed on the Roebuck 3, descend and maintain 5,000. Expect ILS 22 left. We'll expect the ILS 22 left, American 123 heavy. All right, guys, so it's doing the Roebuck nicely. We got to get 216 set. Oh, that's not what I want to do. We go here. I swear. It's important to do this 216 because it's going to give me a minimums call. All right, it's not going to cooperate. Good enough, guys. Good enough. And going on to 18, let's get our altimeters set. All right, coming up on 18. Altimeters. 2992 cross check. 92 cross check. I'm going to do this now. It's still in path. It's not asking for any drag. So if we go to the fix page here, guys, fix 50 miles out, and we are at 17,000. We're going to the other side of the field, so I'm comfortable with this. We're still in path, flying the arrival. Only thing is I'm going to be slowing down. Hey, Priscilla, it's Captain. You might want to, why don't you, everyone, stay seated for the entire arrival. I'll make a PA. Roger that. All right, all the lights are on out of 18, and the altimeter is set. Let's look at the descent check. I do believe It's complete. Descent recall, we did that. Auto brakes, we'll do 3. Landing data is checked. Let's go minimums. CDU. Init. Approach is 136 for flaps 30. And that's set. Checklist. Remember the other guy we doing approach briefing, we did that. We'll say the altimeters too. And that's just the landing speed brakes. All right. I think we are ready. So what I'm looking at here is a bumpy ride, that's for sure. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Captain Richard. So the seatbelt sign has been on the whole flight. Sometimes when it's been on a while, you get complacent. Please check those seatbelts fastened securely about you, as we are going to be doing some arrival through some rain showers in Boston. Flight attendants, prepare for landing. And the reason I'm doing that, guys, you can prepare them earlier, and there's a series of events they have to do. So I sterilize them earlier. Usually it's 10,000 feet. Let's take a look here. CDU, legs, 5,000, Ethan at 5. So far it's doing a good job meeting all the restrictions. And our next one here is CRAN 12,000 to 11,000. CRAN 12 to 11. See it written right there? Nothing to look at outside, kids. I'm just making sure my landing views are all set. All right, so the rest of the approach brief after landing. So we got it is the ILS 22 left, 11-3, 19 February 21, 10-3, 215's in the box, Vocus at 1700, DH is set at 216, min sector, liar, right? Min sector is 2500, missed approach is in the box, there's no published missed approach procedures, engine out. Instead, it will be you just climb on the runway, outbound to Boston, 229, a little bit of a left turn to 3,000, and I always make sure that's in the box. There it is, and 3,000. So that's all in the box. And let me see here. After landing, we're going to land on 22 left. I would clear it, probably clear somewhere around Foxtrot or Charlie, taxi on in, left turn, turn. We're going to go to gate 22, which is a wide body aircraft. Parking gate 22 is right on the end there. I don't know which other ones are wide body, so we'll find out when GSX yells at us. Anyway, any questions? Negatory, good buddy. All right, how we doing here? Looks like it's slowing down nicely. I've written down my flap speeds here. It's hard to read the placard. The placard is down here, but it's very hard to read without zooming in. So therefore, I have written them down. I'm going to increase the range a bit. Coming in nicely. American 123, turn left heading 050. Left turn 050, American 123. I'm just going to vector myself, guys. And here we go, left 050. I'm going to go flight level change. Reason is it's just a long arrival, and we're doing a YouTube video, so there's no sense suffering like that. Only problem is I'm taking over manual, I don't have any course guidance, so let me go down to the box, And I'm going to go approach. ILS 22 left. ILS 22 left. I guess it doesn't have the let me do something here, guys. It's not letting me do it. Normally, of course, you get a prompt over here for the ILS 22 left. ILS 22 left. I'll do just transition, execute. And Noli, take a look at that. Approach. ILS 22 left. Noli, so that's in there. Just radar vectoring myself around. Nine. We'll level off at 5. Get the range a little bit decreased. There's Noli over here. So we're just putting ourselves up on the downwind. American turn left heading 040. Left 040. I make that heading 030, American. American 123 heavy, left 030. All right, guys, so I should have tower set on the other side. Tower is East Tower. East Tower is going to be 32,225. 32,225. Nope, it didn't work. I missed the 1. 132 point. The airplane's just going to level up at 5,000 here on the downwind. 225. That's tower. And then if you look at ground, ground will be 21.9. 21.9. All right, we're all good. Here comes 6 for 5. You know, we never did get a Boston hiatus. Let me try to get that one more time. Here it is. Echo 0, wind 280 at 30. Heavy rain, side condition. Altimeter is 2992. Heavy rain, sky condition, ceiling 1800 broken, temperature. So you got a right cross of around 20 knots. Landing and departing 32. Right. Visual approach. ILS 22. We're gonna go into 3. We're gonna go into 22 left. All right. So because we're not on VATSIM, so we're at 5,250 on downwind. American 120. All right, I'm gonna get rid of that. Yeah, a little disappointed I can't. So with VATSIM, we're gonna have to request off frequency, and over here we should be on 21.5 for monitoring. 21.5 set. All right, so we got tower ready to go. We're on monitoring guard. We're good. American, descend and maintain 3,000. Descend and maintain 3,000. American 123 heavy. 3,000 set, and he confirms 3,000. And American fly airspeed 230 knots. 230 American 123 heavy. Just going to vector myself in here, guys. American, you can turn left heading 020. Left 020, American 123 heavy. All right, so that's good. Checklist is done. Got to arm the spoilers here in a minute. Can probably do that now. Here, speed brake lever is armed. Brakes are 3. One last check of the speed. 136 for flaps 30. All right, looks good. It looks clear out here. American turn further left, heading 010. Further left 010, American 123 heavy. American, you can slow down to 220. If I airspeed 220 knots. 220 knots, 3,000, American 123 heavy. A little slow, guys, but let me see what the box says here. Just going to clean it up a bit. And I'm going to go off Wayne. I'm going to go 224. What is the heading off into there? It is runway heading is 215. 215. Clear. What I'm doing, guys, is extending 215. How's that look? Looks good. All right, now we go back to here, and we've got it extended off the Nolan. And Nolan, not Nolan, off of Vocus. Vocus is 1700. So we're descended off the FAF, extended off the FAF. I wouldn't have normally done that, but here we go. American, you can descend and maintain 2,000. Descend and maintain 2,000, American 123 heavy. Just use flight level change to get down there, right over the water. Take a look outside. Boston. It's my peeps. I grew up in New England, in Rhode Island. American, turn left. American, turn left, heading 320. Left 320, American 123 heavy. And American, come further left, heading 300. Further left 300, American 123 heavy. And you can descend and maintain 1700, sir. Down to 1700, American 123 heavy. Flaps 1. And if you take a look now, there it is. Vocus at 1700. So we're just going to vector ourselves on in. American, you can slow to 190, please. Slow to 190, American 123 heavy. And the flaps 5 speed is 250. Flaps 5. Flaps 5. Make that speed 190 is fine. American 123 heavy. Roger, 123 heavy. 190 knots. And speed below 215, flaps 15. I'll wait till we get in here, and then I'll give us a dog leg to intercept. Right about in here. Trying to avoid that little, yeah, it looks like they got a weather out there, but that's above us. American 123 Heavy, turn further left, heading 270. On the heading, you are cleared the ILS, runway 22 left to Boston. Further left, heading 270. On that heading, we're cleared the ILS to 22 left, American 123 Heavy. All right, guys, I like to wait till I roll out on the heading. And speed at your discretion, American. Roger, American 123 Heavy. And so I can arm the approach. That's what I asked for. That's what I got. Loc and glide slope are armed. Remember, left-hand turn off. A right-hand turn off, I'm sorry. Right-hand turn off on this approach. Right-hand turn off, hold short of the inboard. We're going over to gate 22 right up in here. A little bit of rain on final, huh? All right, loc armed, glide slope armed. We're at L capture, so we can actually bring this up to 3, but we won't do it just yet. And the only reason I don't is because sometimes in the sim, it goes crazy. But once it's armed, we usually wait till glide slope capture to set its approach altitude. All right, here comes, we got a loc capture. Heading bug slews around. And I'm going to go gear down. Flaps 20. Loc capture. And here comes the glide slope. Here comes the glide slope. Showing a lot of rain out here on final, huh? Let's go this. It's not letting me slow down, so I'm going to 160. And speed below 180, flaps 25. Spoiler levers are armed. And flaps 30 before landing checklist. Let's go back to the box. 136 to 141. And missed approach altitude is now set. We'll see if it goes glide slope capture here. Glide slope capture, loc capture, marker crossing at 1700. Clear to land at 1500. We'll get land 3, although we're not doing an auto land. It's tracking nicely. Remember, right-hand turn off, hold short of the inboard. All right. Let it fly down till runway's in sight. Speed brake, spoiler lever should be armed. Don't know why they're not doing it. Yeah, they're armed for sure. Not sure why they're not. All right. HUD. Right-hand cross. Land 3. Still no runway. Looking for the runway. Getting ready to go around. Be flaps 20 if we go around. Runway in sight. Landing. Autopilot's off. Right-hand cross. Not good. A little bit long. Get in reverse. Runway center line, center line, center line. Center line, Jafran. 80 knots. 60. Come out of reverse. And we're getting off at the high speed. All right. American contact ground 21.9. Never went to tower, guys, but it's okay. Let's say we're on ground. Bob's doing that for us. I mean, tower, rather. And tower, Boston Tower, it's American. You need to hold short of 22 right, please. Hold short of 22 right, American 123. Whoa, that didn't work out, guys. Let's not do that. We'll just do this. I was trying to bring over the nav charts to show you, but it's not letting me do it because it went to full screen. Pretty bad out here, isn't it? Pretty nasty. American 123 Kennedy Tower, you're cleared to cross 22 right at Echo. Contact ground 21.9 on the other side. Cleared across 22 right at Echo. Contact ground 21.9 on the other side. American 123 Heavy. Yeah, so I'm putting in a lot of... let me go outside, guys. Let me show you something. See how the... let's do this. That might be it. See how that the ailerons are stuck up there? Don't know what that's all about. Don't know. But it's making it hard to taxi. Definitely. Oh, wine, wine, wine. Jeepers crow, Jeff. And Kenny Ground, American 123 Heavy. We just crossed 22 right on Echo going to gate 22. American 123. Proceed gate 22. Proceed gate 22, American 123. And there we go, guys. It's not going to work out for me. Yeah, I got a little problem with my nose wheel steering here. Excuses, excuses. Maybe I can get up a little more. Enough to where the jet bridge can get on there anyway. Let's see how that looked out. Oh, maybe even a little more. How's that for close? A little more? All right, brakes apart. Oh, I got to go back in. Brakes apart. Seatbelt sign. Man, it's nasty out. Is that APU? He did not start the APU. So we have to start the APU. Oh, they plugged in external ground. We're external is established. You can chop. I got to get this, 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 and my thing is you can chop the engines now. Throttle quadrant, and then my flow goes back to the overhead, and I shut off the emergency exit lights right here. Oh, they're the other way. Up is off. It's off. And window heat, you can turn that off. The FO does that. Hydraulic panel, we go off. We go counterclockwise for this one. And we turn off all the fuel pumps. And then I turn off the beacon and nav. Landing lights, we got that all after we cleared the runway. Short taxi, huh? Strobes would have been cleared. Only thing we leave on is nav. And we did the flight guidance panel. Turn off the flight directors. And come back inside. And now I'm going to go GSX. And we'll see if it actually works. Request deboarding, right? American Airlines, yeah, why not? See if the jet bridge works. There it goes. Cool. All right, so how are we doing on the checklist? Let's go back inside. Checklist over here. Landing. Yeah. Thanks a lot, folks. Shut down. Hydraulics good. He said, great job. If only he knew, right? Parking brake. It's good. Fluid control switch is cut off. IRS is off. Off. IRSs are off. Emergency lights were off. Packs off. I usually wait till the passengers have deboarded and APU off. Checklist is complete. But we'll shut off the IRUs. We'll shut off the overhead, the APU, since we have external power coming off. Shut off the packs. And they do the upper recirc fan is off. Let's go to the up here. Make sure we didn't forget anything. Pack left and right, flight control mode, door code, recirc fan upper off. Okay, good. Let's go say goodbye to the people. Free camera. And here we go. Got all cockeyed, huh? Should I stand at the door? Why, everyone? Why, thank you. Thank you. Ho-ho. You got the idea, right? Woohoo! Goodbye, Boston. All right, guys. Father Time is back. I'm on Microsoft Flight Simulator, getting ready for the TFDI MD-11, flying the 787-8 for I think it's Hootie, and deboarding my airplane, calling it a day. I'm so happy to be back on Microsoft Flight Simulator. I got a long way to go, obviously, by my presentation standards, but won't be long. Thanks, guys. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for taking such good care of me, especially during my absence. You guys were all over it, checking things out. Go to my Discord. Don't forget to subscribe. Take it easy. Father Time's out.